So last year I went 9 months without buying makeup, but by the time Black Friday and all the holiday sales rolled around, I finally had some things that I was interested in. I feel like I'd done my research, I looked at the swatches, and I knew this is what I need to buy to complete my collection and not want anything ever again. That didn't happen. That never happens. So today I wanted to get into what I bought and why, what was I expecting, and then how it differs or lives up to those expectations. Let's get into the expectations versus reality of a haul. So first, I made a pretty safe purchase. I picked up the Kulfi Main Match Concealer in Khoya Kisses. This is a holy grail concealer for me. I've had the Glossy Guava shade for about like 2.5 years. So it's time to get rid of that one, but I thought I would try the shade Lighter. Kind of just for fun. The Glossy Guava shade is a really good, like natural look for my under eyes, but I wanted something just a little bit more brightening. But now that I have both of them to compare, I don't think they're that different shade-wise, maybe the undertone, but as far as the depth, they're pretty similar. So it's not really giving me the brightening look I was looking for. So while this didn't meet my color expectations, it's just such a banger product that that's okay. And you know, maybe I'd even want to pick up a shade that like matches my skin and try using this as like a foundation or a skin tint. I don't know. But yes, a winner. I also got another concealer. I got a mini of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Sucre d'Orge. And I have this in a full size, but I haven't used it in so long. It smells absolutely disgusting. Would not put it on my face. But I remember back in like 2018 really liking this concealer. So I figured I would just get a mini to revisit it and see if I wanted to fold it back into my collection at the full size. And it's pretty sweet that the mini is only $15, and this is pretty like full coverage in my opinion. So I don't really need that much anyway, but it's nice to test it out in case like maybe this product doesn't work for me anymore, my skin's changed, who knows. This shade in particular is pretty light compared to the concealers I've been wearing. But I kind of like that since the Kulfi I picked up is still pretty close to my skin tone, I can just add a dot of the NARS to add a little bit of brightening. And then I have this very annoying thing where my glasses leave this little imprint on my nose, and this helps cover it up and kind of hide that discoloration really quickly, more so than the Kulfi one does, since this is a bit lighter coverage. So another winner for my haul. I was trolling Ulta and I saw this Flower Beauty under eye corrector stick, and I got it in medium deep. It was only $8, and I kind of like the scribble crayon aspect of it to just kind of draw in wherever I needed to cover up any hyperpigmentation or darkness underneath my eyes. So I thought for $8 I'll give it a shot, especially since my Bobbi Brown color corrector is pretty old, probably gonna have to declutter it, and I think I would buy that in a shade for the rest of my face, but for my under eyes, this one seemed light enough that maybe it could do the trick. When I got it, I noticed that it was a bit thinner and not as emollient as the Bobbi Brown, but I think that's okay for the under eyes. Like, I want that hydration for sure, but it being thinner, I think helps it avoid getting cakey. And I also really like the shade. It's not super peach or orange. It's a bit more natural. I think there's like a bit more brown in there. And so I like that I could kind of wear it with a more lightweight concealer on top, and it's not going to look like, you know, a peach ring underneath my eyes. Ooh, that sounds yummy. So overall, I'm not like wowed by this, but it's a color corrector. I don't think it's going to blow my mind, and I'm really perfectly happy with it. So I consider that a success. This next one is a launch that really caught my eye when it came out. It's the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. Again, like what is that? What does that mean? But I got the shade 7 Tan, and this one's definitely more of a bronzer. This just caught my eye because I really wanted a liquid bronzer, and I would also love a liquid contour, but I can't find one for my skin tone right now. But this was only $7, so I was like, let's give it a try. It's pretty pigmented, which I had expected based on the camo liquid blushes that had come out. But I find that the way I usually apply it is like I do a big dollop in my hand and then stipple my brush into that and then apply to my face, so that it's not delivering too much pigment at once. If you dot as you go, it actually still blends out pretty easily. I wouldn't do my whole face at once, like cover my face in dots and then go in. That might be pushing it, but it doesn't dry down that quickly. And I just really like this shade. It's not too orange or too red, which is also a problem that I run into. And I like that with one layer I can get a color that shows up on my skin noticeably, because my problem I ran into with the Makeup by Mario skin enhancer that I had is just I have to do layer after layer to get it to show up, and sometimes you just don't want to take that time just to get a little bit of bronze. I also like that this shade has a bit of shimmer into it, like it's a little bit of a golden sheen, and it doesn't look like glittery on the face at all. When I apply it, it feels more like a healthy glow to your skin. I don't know if you would want that for a contour. I'm not sure if the more contour shades have that going on, but it works for the bronze, definitely. So I had pretty low expectations for this. I mean, it was only $7, but I think it paid off really well because I'm really enjoying using it. I can finally check that off of my list. I did another repurchase in this haul. I got the Tower 28 mascara in Drift, which is their brown. This is my third time purchasing it. I was absolutely enamored with this shade last year. It just gives this very like soft, fluttery effect to the lashes. I definitely went through a phase of only using this mascara, but then I switched back to black mascara, which I'm wearing today. It's the L'Oreal Telescopic, and I was just shocked by how much like attention it gives my eyes. It just really makes them stand out. So I'm on a bit of a break with the brown, but I got it because I know once like spring and summer hit, I'm gonna want that softer look. I'm curious to see how it's going to hit though coming off of this, because a L'Oreal Telescopic really holds a curl for me and really separates my lashes, which makes them look longer. But I don't think that the Tower 28 has the best hold. It does give them a kind of fluffy, more volumized look, but it's still pretty natural. And I'm worried I might get accustomed to the longer look and be like, where'd my lashes go? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. All right, spoiler, this is the biggest womp womp of the whole haul. I got the About Face blush. This is the fluid blush in Grand Prix. It's like a red brown. So I really wanted a glossy liquid blush, and this was cheaper than the Hourglass one. The packaging was definitely less annoying, and it looked kind of similar to the Huda one that people really like, so I thought I would give it a try. This is one that the moment I took it out of the box, I was like, what is this? The packaging feels so terrible in my hand. It is just like the cheapest kind of plastic. I feel like my senses are very sensitive because it is so squeaky when you open it and close it, and it drives me crazy. It's like the e.l.f. Halo Glow, how it makes like the grossest squelching sound when you put it in and out. I can't do it. That's an important part of a makeup product for me. Please make the experience as palatable as possible. Yeah, so we got the squeaky plastic, the stopper that really doesn't do anything, doesn't really wipe off the wand. It's just like a vat of blush in there ready to spill out at any moment. And I just know it's going to get so messy. I also don't like the closing mechanism. I really want that feedback of like, okay, we're closed now, but you're just spinning. You're actually shredding plastic as you're spinning. There's like plastic dust coming off. And then it just kind of squeaks to a halt. Compared to, I'm not saying this is the superior blush, but compared to the Rare Beauty, when you close it, it goes. That's so satisfying. Let me know that you're closed, you're safe, I can put you away. And that's not even a luxury brand. Rare, okay, we're gonna get into some numbers. I thought the About Face was a much better deal. It is $18 for 0.11 ounces. The Rare Beauty Mini is $15 for 0.11 ounces. That shocked me. And compared to the Huda Beauty, which is $23 for 0.15 ounces, if you break it down by dollars per ounces, it's a better deal to get the Huda Beauty. They're completely different formulas though. That one I believe dries a little more matte or satin looking, and this is just pure gloss. But I'm just looking at myself like a joker because I thought this was like financially a better deal compared to Huda, and it's not. My last issue with this product is not its fault. I feel like the color was fairly represented on the screen, but on myself, I'm not sure that I like it as much. It just shears out so much, and I like my blush, so when I try and build it up, I feel like the reddish brownishness of this is prone to getting a little patchy or bruisey. I'm just not sure it's my favorite, and the gloss as well, I think, isn't really as that flattering. It's making me aware of pores that I didn't even know existed. So this, I think, is a bit of a flop, but I'm going to give it more time to see if maybe we grow on each other or I find an application that works for me. But right off the bat, I was just like, what did I do? In a similar vein, this product, this is the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glace in 610 Pearly Eclat. And this is another glowy, glossy fail, perhaps. I don't know. We will see. But I really wanted the K-pop idol glowy cheek look, the One Young look, if you will. But I didn't want to buy the Hints Balm or the Chanel Balm. So I thought I would try this one for $13 in case I didn't like how it looked on me. And yeah, I don't know if I do. I honestly feel like I might end up buying those more expensive products anyway, because I can't tell if I don't like this glowy, glossy look on my cheeks specifically, or if it's this product that I'm not liking. It's likely that I still need practice, but I'm still not going to call this a hit at this moment. Next, I got the L'Oreal Le Shadow Stick. This was a newer launch, and I got the shade 420 Brown Bliss. I really like how easy eyeshadow sticks are to use. I had a bunch that I had to declare because they got super old, but they were all very sparkly or metallic, and I thought maybe I should try a nice matte one, and that could be a good base. Both for smoky eye looks and for just like everyday look, like putting a shimmer on top of that. I think the shade ended up being a little more neutral than I expected. I thought it'd be a bit warm of a brown, but I think that still works, especially for the smoky looks. What surprised me is that I actually mostly use this underneath my eyes, like in the outer corner. I think it just adds a little bit of intensity that isn't too deep for during the daytime. I just really like how it defines my eyes, and I can do this and a little wing and just call it a day. And the formula really exceeded my expectations. It's very creamy, but I can still kind of move it around just a little bit before it sets down and doesn't budge. So this completely lived up to my expectations, and I'm glad they don't have any more shades that I like because I would buy them all. My last purchase was the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in Plum and Get It, and it is only $2, so it was the equivalent of like being in the checkout line and seeing like a bag of Skittles and just being like, sure, why not? I was also smack dab in my berry lip phase where I was wearing Berry Banger by Fenty every single day and wishing that I had a berry lip liner to like complete the look. So I can justify it that way. Honestly, didn't really have expectations for this product because I am very confused about lip liners. I don't really have many high-end one. I have one MAC one and one Makeup Forever, and you know, I like them, but I don't really know what I'm looking for in a lip liner. I think creamy, long-lasting, but how creamy is too creamy? I don't know. But for $2, I was like, let's go, let's do it. And I think it's totally fine. It really feels like using a colored pencil on your lips. I don't think it's the most like luxurious experience, but I do like that it's wooden. I don't like the plastic crayon. I don't like sharpening plastic. In my limited experience, I don't think this is the most long-lasting lip liner, but I do think it's easy to work with, and the color is very pretty, and it was $2 freaking. So I think that's a big old success for me. So looking back at my haul, there are two products that might not live up to my expectations, the About Face blush and the L'Oreal highlighter. And both of these were my way of getting around buying more expensive products. So maybe I should just buy the real thing that I want instead of trying to find dupes. Hopefully that will help me learn that lesson. It hasn't stuck yet. But I'm so glad that I did this little exercise because it really makes me appreciate the purchases I made that did work out, especially repurchasing things, maybe trying a different shade. I don't know, I like just kind of checking in on my purchases and how they're going. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.